tall individual, my friend.
I am indeed. People say I look taller, but I don't know about that. I'm older.
Talk to us about this camp, man. How you're feeling, and how things been coming into this one.
I feel great. I was coming off the injury. I was already in great shape when the injury happened. So then it was an inconvenience to get the broken thumb. So I had the cast on, and I just carried on from there. So within 2 weeks, I was back in the same shape as what I was prior to the injury. So I feel good. I feel very good for this fight.
Is it bittersweet walking back into this building because you won the title here, but you also lost the title here, right? Do you think about things like that, or is it all a blur at this point?
Mate, it's just like I said before, a cage is a cage, a fight is a fight. It doesn't make no difference where it is. I'm not one of them superstitious people who's like, oh, going to this. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference to me. A fight is a fight.
Obviously, getting back on track has got to be at the forefront of your mind. Can you talk a little bit about that process and needing to rebound from a loss, because you only had to do that one other time in your career, and obviously you were able to do that the last time you needed to rebound.
Yes, the mindset is right. Everything was right. The body feels good. The mistakes that I had have been fixed. Everything is. I'm going in there. I'm going back for my title. So this is one more fight to run towards it.
Do you can you pinpoint what maybe those mistakes were, or is that?
I think you know what the mistakes were. It was wrestling takedown defense. You know, I was ignorant to the fact of wrestling. I'd always do so well off my back, and then I had such a long layoff that they understood that you can't give me no space. So now I had to revamp the game and change it around and just do things differently. And I believe I have done, and I believe I've done the necessary things to do that. I've got a great coach. I've got great teammates. I've got awesome people around me. You know, so I've had good help.
What were your thoughts when they called you with this opponent? I mean, did you know much about him? I mean, obviously he's a relative newcomer here at Bellator.
I believe he beat that Philippe Lins in the first round, you know, and as soon as that happened, I don't even know when it was or where I was when that happened, you know, and then things were coming up, Liam should fight this guy, so obviously I checked him out, you know, and he's an interesting character, you know, he likes to fight, he's young, and yeah, so that's about it.
Young and hungry kind of opponent. I mean, does that? Do you remember being young and hungry like that?
You're talking about still young and hungry, right? You know,
you're 35, right?
Yeah, this is a number.
Completely young. You're young to me.
I've only been doing this game. I've been in this game five years, you know. So it's not a case of like I'm old in the sport. I've had injury after injury after injury, you know. I've had the ones earlier on. It's been a roller coaster of a career, you know. The first injury kept me out for a long time. This one kept me out for a few weeks. I don't like to pull out of fights, and unfortunately I had to pull out of that fight. So it's it's just got to start again. And I've had long enough in the fight camp now, as I believe. So although the plastic cast stopped me from doing a great deal, but yeah, I'm as hungry as I was when I first got into this game.
We talked before we started rolling the cameras about your height, and you'll have a pretty significant height advantage against him on Friday night. You feel like that will play a factor?
Yes, I mean it will play a factor. You know, but of course I've got to be wary of that big right hand of his. You know, it's saying that a short guy can always land that overhand right. So I'll be doing the necessary things which I need to do to stop that and fight my game.
Obviously, it's a kind of a one step at a time process to get back into a title picture, but the belt in your division is kind of maybe on hold while this tournament goes on.
I've said this many times now, it's on hold, right, and it couldn't work out better for me, because at the end of the day, yes, I have got to do some catching up to do, and then while it's on hold, it's going to allow me the time to do and have the fights that I need to have to put me back into place. And once he's had his fight and when he's ready to come back, that's if he's... Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how if he wins the title or loses, I don't know if he's still the light heavyweight champion or what, right? But at the end of the day, this is going to allow me to concentrate on what I have to do, and I don't really give a fuck about what they're doing. I'm just going I got my mind set on what I'm doing.
No matter what, you want to make sure you're in that log jam, if there is a log jam, to be the guy that fights for it.
Exactly, you know. It's, there's a few fights where I can have. There's a few fights in there, and none of these boys are fighting either. So it's I can fit in and do what I need to do when I need to do it.
You've got obviously a lot of quick finishes on your resume. Is that what we can expect that you want to happen on?
I've always said, man, a fight will last as long as it needs to. You know, I don't. I'll continue fighting that fight for 3 rounds, 5 rounds if I need to. You know, just so happened that I caught these guys with a punch. I caught these guys with a submission. Like I said, this is MMA. You know, it's. I don't want to go in there. I got my game plan, but I don't want to go in there and try and rush this game plan because it's that rushing things. It's mistakes happen. You know, I've made a couple of mistakes already, and I don't intend on making a third.
We can pivot real quick. The main event on Friday. You want to give us a prediction in that fight, Mitrione and Nelson?
I think Mitrione. Yes, I believe Mitrione is gonna take this one.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Hey, Liam. You're going against a guy that is not really well known. I mean, you fought some really well known guys: Tito Ortiz, Phil Davis, Linton Vassell. Are you happy with a matchup with a guy that he's kind of coming in with nothing to lose?
Of course, you know. I mean, listen, I was unknown, and then look what I did. You know,
Sure.
it's any fighter is dangerous. You know, I'm not overlooking the guy. You know, I mean, yes, his age, it's nothing. It would be stupid of me to overlook this guy, you know, and try and look past him. So you have to treat every guy as a threat. And he's trying to take my head off just as much as I'm going to take his head off. So yeah.
He's 25 years old. The big thing about that age, you always see huge improvements between fight and fight. How hard is it for someone facing a guy that young to kind of look at tape and find weaknesses when you know that a lot of times they can make massive improvements in those weaknesses?
What?
I'm sorry. I'm saying, so he's really young. He's 25 years old. You know, a lot of times they make mass improvements between fight to fight to fight. How is it being that you're fighting someone so young? How do you prep for someone that you know is going to be making huge improvements from each fight?
Concentrate on what I'm doing, mate. You know, like it's. I can see what he's doing. He's got a great record. It's good for him, you know. It's he's doing well in his MMA career, you know. But I don't care what he's doing now. I care about what I'm doing. And I think that was a mistake I made in a couple of those fights before. I worried about what the other guy was doing, and then look what happened. I got fucking taken down and led on, you know. So it had to stop, and it did stop. So now I concentrate on exactly what I had to do, and then you're going to see that Friday night.
Obviously, we've already talked about the Grand Prix. You know, hypothetical. I know they already have their picks. They already have their alternates. Somehow, an opening happens. Would you jump in there?
Dude, these are big boys, man. You know, it's I know I'm tall, but I'm not the weight where I cut all the way down to light heavyweight and struggle to make the weight for light heavyweight. And getting hit by one of these 265-pound dudes, man, and it's not going to be nice, you know. So I'd rather stick to my lane, you know. It's the 205-pound man, and like I said, I've got things I need to do in the 205-pound division. So that's where I'm going to be doing. I'm focused on my path.
Do you have, you get by this guy, do you have someone in mind that you'd like to fight?
We'll see.
It sounds like you're planning on mentioning that Friday night.
I'm just planning on fucking not going to do that. Like I say, one step at a time, one fight at a time, one knockout at a time, one submission at a time. That's it.
Do you have an official prediction for this fight?
Nope, I'm not going to give any prediction. I'm just going to say that's it. The one, I'm just going to concentrate on what I'm going to do.
You're saying how you're still hungry in the game. Does that time off, from the injury, make you even more hungry, you wanting to
Maybe I'm more pissed off.
Yeah.
More angry than what I normally am. Yeah, more. I want my shit back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the fans looking forward to having you back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being back. It's been a minute since I've been in the cage.
Thank you, guys.
And also,
Yeah.